What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're going to be looking at
playing against someone with a VPIP of 87. We were working with this guy last week, so we're continuing the hands with him. So we're looking at villain 8 right over here. He's played 87% of hands and raised very, very little. So he's doing tons of limping, which means he's limping his shitty hands and he's also limping his good hands. Now we only have 31 hands on him, and people will say you can't trust stats. Some people will say you can't trust stats with only 31 hands. And when it gets this far out of whack, 87, you can. It is very, very hard to get to a VPIP like this if you're not playing hands like 10-6 offsuit sometimes. So this is a continuation from last Monday's session. So we not only know his VPIP, and we knew this live, but we also have seen the kinds of hands he plays. So we have a model of this guy in his head, and let's see if we can drastically deviate from GTO and exploit this guy based on the model in our heads. The other players are almost generically irrelevant in the way we're playing here. This is true of them too. Everybody's playing against Villain 8. He is our VIP. So first hand, here we go. What should happen is he should raise and just take it. Let's see what happens. So he limps with a Queen Jack, which makes us play the 6-7, and this 8-10 suited seems like absolutely fine. I suppose he could raise against this guy's very, very wide range, but I don't know that he really wants to with 8-10. 8-10 flops well. We flop a gut shot. This should check around. We should be checking this and maybe check raising it sometimes. We don't need to be betting in the sandwich. We actually could bet here, now that I think of it, because this misses his range. It doesn't really miss his range, but because this wasn't a raised pot, so this isn't a donk. This is just this pot is a jump ball, so maybe we'll bet it, and we do. We bet small into it. He calls with just the overcards. Got that. There's the 10. Do we want to continue our story? Sure, we do, and we get a fold. All right, Larry is up next.
Sure.
All right.
So villain 8 has a hand. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be bad.
Now I don't think you get to make an adjustment to play 10-3.
Nope.
I really actually should fold around to him.
I agree. This should just fold around to him. It does. All right, Tura. Oh, whoops, wrong direction. There we go. Tura, if you want to unmute, you can do the next hand. If not, it'll come back to me. All right, here we go. Tura's back.
Okay, so I think I would still fold Queen 8. What do you guys think?
I agree. I think this should fold to Villain 8, who should raise and take it. I expect he's going to limp and then take it later. And I don't think I should be playing Queen 8 here against him. So there's his limp instead of his raise.
So Villain 8 can either bet or check.
Yeah. What would you do if you, for some
I
reason?
would check.
Okay. Let's see. He goes for the one big blind.
And okay, Villain calls. I think he should fold.
Yeah. It's not the worst call in the world for one big blind. It gets worse because they only have 50 big blinds and he's going for all backdoor equity. And his backdoor equity is, I mean, his clubs are shit. And the 3-4 comes in, he loses the 5-7, but that's not too much. Yeah, so he could call for one.
Now Villain 8 could probably bet again small.
Mm-hmm. And what size is small for you in this situation?
33%.
Okay. Yep. He goes 25%.
And Villain should probably continue with the backdoor.
Yeah.
I mean with the draw.
Yeah. Yeah, I think villain 12 is just roped into losing 3 big blinds on this hand. The problem is, if a club does come and villain 8 bets big, he can't really call.
But he probably wouldn't without, I mean,
Yeah, villain 8 won't.
especially with an ace.
Yeah, it won't happen, but I'm just saying that's the problem with this backdoor equity. All right,
Now he has to fold.
sure, sure. Yeah. Yeah, turning that into a bluff seems crazy. Okay, next hand. We are going to raise. King, queen should 3-bet us, king 10 should fold, and we should call the 3-bet. But we're gonna find out if villain 8 plays the 3-6 offsuit in this situation. So we raise. Now, the adjustment I've made, I'm normally a 2.5 big blind raiser. I've moved up to 3 big blinds because villain 8 has shown that he will call 3 big blinds super wide. So let's put in another half a big blind. Why not? For example.
Insane.
Insane. And that's what I mean. You only have, oh, this is hand 3. This is wrong. We have many more hands than this on him. This is, the VPIP just went off for some reason. It's the same guy. Okay, anyway, so with this, king, queen can squeeze here, especially knowing, villain 8's range. And if he squeeze, if he does it, should go to 9, 12, 13, 16. Yeah, he should squeeze to 16 here. But he just calls. Okay. And with this, I expect many of our opponents in villain 10's shoes to call with a king 10 offsuit. I believe this is a slam dunk fold and a sliver of squeeze. But the main thing you should be doing is folding here. Even though you're getting pot odds, because you're getting, in most cases, reverse implied pot odds, as you can see on your king. Only your 10 is good. But he puts it in, and I am not worried about this. This hand has just become very simple for me. Which is, I'm not gonna bluff it 4 players. And
Yeah.
the second worst decision pays off. Let's see how it goes. This should go check, 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 check. Does. Now he should wake up and bet, but the king queen bets instead, which is gonna make it super easy on us. King 10 here. With 27 big blinds, he can just call if he wants and invite anyone with hearts, and even he might get a straight draw to call if he wants to do that, or if he wants to play it, quote, safer, he can just jam right here and knock out hearts behind him most of the time if he wants to. But that's the way to guarantee you make the least money from the hearts.
Yep.
If he went and just clicked it, if he's going to raise and not jam, which is jam, I assume that in GTO world, it's only a jam, but I think you could just click it. If you click it, you probably knock out hearts also, and you probably keep in his overpairs for just a click. If you jam, he might fold the overpairs. And what overpairs does he have here? He might have jacks.
I think if you have like a flush draw here and you get clicked, I think you're getting the odds to call.
No, this guy is, but don't you think you knock out the flush draws behind maybe? Let's say I have
Behind that have
Yeah.
to put in like 11 to see the
Yeah.
river.
Maybe you don't.
Multi-way, I have to.
Yeah, because you expect this guy to call, so you get that money in there too. But then again, these guys are pretty shallow, so there isn't that much money to get.
Yeah.
He decides he wants to keep us in. I will, of course, fold, and we'll see how villain 8 plays. Terribly. Okay. And now the 9, and now the king queen needs to give it up. Villain 10 should bet, he should jam, and everyone should fold. Check, jam, fold, fold. All right. Larry, this is your hand.
Sure. Okay, we've got a poster, it looks like,
Yes.
with somewhat of a hand. Hero gets to open his hand. Hero should open to probably 3.5 or 4.
Yep, I'm gonna go 4.5. I just know me.
Ace jack here actually is kind of a 3-bet fold. It's a very awkward situation because he's posting. Yeah, I think this is 3-bet or fold. Those are his options against early position versus early position.
Yeah. And ace jack, high jack versus low jack is probably a low frequency 3-bet. It's probably not a slam dunk. That's my memory. Let's look in Peak GTO. Let's see what it does for us for this, just for fun. Just to see one of the pre-flop ranges. Low
Sure.
jack raises. The sizing is wrong here. And he is in the cutoff, right? No, he's hijack. I said low jack versus hijack. Yep. And there you go. So we don't get down to ace jack for
Okay.
that. And they have calling ranges here in this arrangement. I don't know what the rake structure is that these were calculated with. So
Nice.
we'll find that out. So that is our goal. We're gonna send a message to poker coaching and ask what the rake structure is on the cash games. All right. But what I expect him to do is call because he
Agreed.
posted. Okay, so he calls. The three
So-
is gonna come along.
Yeah. Is
Good.
it? I don't. Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry, this is your hand. I apologize. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
So, ace jack really here needs to squeeze and, against 3 players, I would go to, let me see. So I think 14 is the default plus an additional. I'll go to like 15 or 16 here.
All right. And therefore, looking at his stack size, if he goes to 15 or 16, what should he do?
Yeah, good point. He's got a broken stack. So that's over 30% of his stack. You should just shove here.
Yeah, just shove. Oh,
No, I might do this with aces, but I'm not gonna play a broken stack. Okay, so this is quite an awkward spot, but 7-4, let's see what your pot odds are. 7-4 folds. 16%. I feel like you're almost getting, yeah, you're getting pot odds at 16%.
oh yeah.
But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
hard to know multi-way, but I think I think when you've got a hand that can make the nuts, you just call
Yeah.
being offered this price.
Yeah. This is, I think, a trivial call.
And then we can continue on. So why don't you call and we'll see the pot odds offered then to villain 7.
I just want to point out one thing before I go.
Sure.
Look at my equity in the hand. Look at it. I have the best equity in the hand.
Yeah, this is kind of like, I think where you're supposed to play like middle low suited connectors.
That's the second best equity in the hand.
So this is where the value of suited connectors come in. Everybody says like, oh, board coverage. Well, you get the equity with the board coverage.
Yeah. And this is only because the ace jacks interfere with each other. That's the only reason. I mean, ace jack
Yeah.
is way ahead of me, but
Yeah, they are. They are, I understand.
he's just so heavily blocked.
Okay, so can we go back and look at ace jack's pot odds? I'm just curious.
Sure.
Right here. Okay, yeah, it's just calls. Whatever. And the fish is coming along with his 30% equity again.
Right. Oh, I got it wrong. I'm not, although I have 34% equity in the hand, but I do not have, that's not my share of the pot really, because this 14 and 21 is being split.
Yeah, yeah, it's valid. That's valid.
Right.
They could,
Meaning, I thought it was that they interfere with each other, so they flop poorly because they're missing an ace and a jack each. But I think what it is that when he wins, he only gets half the pot. So in reality, sort of, if you compare my advantage to his, he's 40, I'm 34% kind of to win, and he's 42% kind of to win, that he shares with this guy's 28% kind of to win.
yeah, agreed.
I think that's what's going on with the numbers. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm calling.
Yeah, so we're now massively multi-way.
Mhm.
In a very complex spot.
Yep.
I mean, so our villain 10 is, I guess, our aggressor. So, I think you need to check here. And
Uh,
we should,
I think I can bet here.
Okay, alright, so, let me
Here's
make
why.
my argument as to why not.
Okay, you make your argument as to why not.
This is my argument as to why not. Um, is because, so we've got our aggressor, villain 10, right?
Yep.
He's our kind of retarded aggressor. I know we're not supposed to use that term anymore, but when I grew up, it was
Yeah.
not as naughty.
Mhm.
Sorry, YouTube. I probably got you banned, dude.
Uh,
So you've got you're out of position and you gain a lot of information by checking. Well, no, I'm sorry. I got this wrong. I'm confusing positional awareness here.
yeah.
Villain 10 is going to be first act. I apologize. So, did villain 10 check?
Yeah. He checked.
Okay, I'm getting my positions messed up. Sorry. So, yeah, I think betting's fine here.
Right. And I look at it this way, when villain 10 is on his full on aces 10 bagging, I only lose. It's an SPR1 against him. I'm gonna lose SPR1 against him with top pair.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, that, and I'm SPR1 against villain 8. So it's only villain 7 that we're concerned with, and he just called
So
there.
your stack is only a risk with villain 7. That's valid.
Yeah. So I think I can bet and I can get value from, I can get value from villain 8's bad play. I can get value from clubs.
Okay.
But I go with your argument thinking, why not?
Okay. Well, you get information, right? These guys are kind of telling you the value of their hand here.
Yep.
So villain 8 might stab. Who knows? He's got, no, he didn't. Checks around. Okay. So you've got top pair, four ways, and unfiltered ranges. Does it
Mhm.
check to you again?
Let's find out. Yep, it checks to me again.
All right. At this point, I would put a bet in, and I would put a bet in somewhat hefty, I think, against. I think what we saw when we were looking at multi-way ranges is that when the solver chose to multi-way solves, when the solver chose to check on flop, it often would take an aggressive sizing on turn. I would
Right.
choose an aggressive sizing here. I would choose around 20 bigs.
Mhm. And then the thing that pushes our sizing down is the completed flush draw. We kind of expect that two clubs would have bet already.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we do have a
So,
completed equity. You have completed equity two ways here.
so,
7-5 is there as well.
so I'm with you.
But yeah, okay. So Ace Jack is not getting direct odds, but you could argue it has implied odds in position.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So it's probably gonna call. 3-5 should get out of the way unless he's just totally, well, he's got an open ender.
He's
No,
got no.
he's got a, what's he have? He has a straight. So,
Yeah.
but look at how does he have that little equity on a straight? Because you've got,
Because because his club outs are dead. That gives him
yeah, you're right.
and
Club outs are dead. Yeah, you're
right.
right.
Yeah.
So
So
that
picked out
is literally, that's 6 outs.
yeah.
He's got 6 outs. So he's gonna call because he doesn't know what else to do. No, he's out. The other
Hold on.
guy's out.
He's got 6 outs, but two of his outs are dead, and three of his outs are super dirty. Because if the 7 comes, yes, he has 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but the board is 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
So there we go. So he gets out. I get lucky.
I guess he's got 7 outs technically. So,
What's his seventh? What's his seventh out?
well, I'm just correlating to what his equity is here. Well, can you fold out villain ace jack? Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know what it is, but I'm just correlating to what his equity is and how many outs that is.
You're talking about villain 8.
Villain 8, yeah.
No, you add it in it. It's 6 outs. Why is that? We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
You're right. It is 6 outs though. We know that.
Okay.
There is an
All right.
ace of clubs there. All right, here we go.
So, okay. So this is a very interesting spot. So 1 to a straight, flush available. called. What's, it comes down to where our value threshold is. I mean, I
Listen.
mean, we can bet here. I think we can bet, but what are we're gonna try to get called by 8x, 6x, 9s, 10s, jacks. There's a lot of value here. I kind of want to use a blocker sizing on the 4 to a straight. I would be 50 or blocker here out of position, I think. I might not be going for thin value enough here.
I'm gonna, I know that I'm gonna check. I believe I'm gonna check it. Because not only do I not have the flush, not only do I not have the straight, I actually don't have that good at king once his range has been filtered by a call.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think your point is,
I
I
beat
think you
king.
can go bluff catching mode. I think bluff catching mode is fine. I think a
Yeah.
blocker sizing then is good too.
Yep. He checks, he bets,
He
and
shoves. So you're in the blender. So let's go through let's look at our pot odds, right? The question then becomes, well, number one, he's making a good bluff with the nut blocker, right? That's his first thought. And this is NO 100, right?
yep,
There's probably some good players in this pool. So he makes nut flush blocker, nut flush shove, nut flush blocker shove. Okay, what's our checklist? So first question is, are we beating their bluffs? The answer is yes, right?
yep.
Second question is, do we think, what's going to be population here? Because we don't know this player. Do we think he's bluffing over 33% of the time? And it's hard to know with population here. And the other question I would ask myself are there natural bluffs? Well, there are natural bluffs around clubs, but it's also 4 to a straight. I'm not going to give you an answer as whether you should call or bluff because I can see call or fold because I can see the cards. But the other question I might ask here is, did you give him rope? And you certainly did give him rope by checking out of position on river.
Yep, I did.
So those are the questions, and I don't know the right answer. I would actually, yeah, I think folding's fine.
Yeah.
Folding's fine to this overbet. Oh, it's not an overbet, it's a pot size bet, but yeah.
Sad. All right, Tura, you're up.
So I only have one question before we go on to Tura.
Yes.
Do you think he is shoving over your blocker sizing with his nut blocker? Yeah. So
I
if you use the blocker sizing, I wonder if you have the ability to realize your equity more.
maybe. I think the blocker size is an invitation. I think it's a bet small to induce when I don't want to induce
Okay.
on this board. Because I don't have sevens played this way. You know,
Okay.
I can have a clubs played this way.
Yeah.
You know, but am I really gonna bet small with clubs? I'm gonna bet big with clubs to get called by a 7.
Yeah.
So you have to go to the level of, no, I'm gonna bet small with clubs to get raised by a bluff instead. You know, you have to go, he's thinking that you gotta go to level 3-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So,
your point.
yeah. Yeah.
So, I think, yeah, I think blocker sizing is helpful here. I think we should watch Villain 7 and see if this is kind of this is a good play. We
Yeah.
should watch and see if he does it more. All right,
Yeah.
I'm done.
All right, Tura.
I think it should fold around to the big blind. Yes.
Yep. Let's see
But
let's see if he plays deuce 9. He does. That's how you get to VPIPs of 80. All right.
what is he folding?
Exactly. Exactly. Not here
Um,
to fold.
so yeah, I guess it should fold around to big blind.
But they've all decided to come in and play differently than that. This should work. But it doesn't. Okay.
Okay, let's see what King 7 does. I
What
think I
should,
would fold.
yeah, should be a fold. Should be, this should definitely be a fold. Okay. And bad play is once again, rewarded.
And now it should go check, check, check. Okay, Wieland pots it.
Mhm.
And yeah, gets it done.
Yep. And this is fear.
Terrible play.
Yeah. 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 This is fear-based play. And the 7 of diamonds should make him even less afraid.
Yeah.
It's, yep. Okay. Mike,
All right, ace jack gets to open. Kings will 3-bet and ace jack should fold, but let's see what happens.
9-7 will limp. We know that. And ace 10 is coming along too, probably.
All right, ace jack should make it 4.5 and should get 3-bet by kings, and ace jack should fold.
Right. I would not be shocked to see a call from 9-7 suited here.
Jesus, unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah, well, ace jack should fold still.
Yep. He should.
Good Lord.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, okay, so let's play as villain 7 here because nothing else makes any sense. If I had kings, which I would here, do we ever just like check range kind of thing? I think versus these players, you're not trying to balance anything. You just go for value against Queen X. They really should not have any 7X. So I would just probably bet small, like B33. Let's see, sizes are like, we got the really short stack in villain 12. Yeah, I'd probably just go like B25, B33.
Yep.
Yeah,
goes
he goes like 50,
B60.
even more.
Yeah, a little bit more. That's fine.
Mhm.
I mean, when he calls like
I-
this, I'm happy. Like I could give two shits that I would love that. I'm glad he's calling. I mean, it
Yeah.
sucks that he winds up with a 7 here.
Yeah.
And what do we have left? Yep, whatever we got left.
Yeah, just jam it. And let the happy tilt begin.
Is this another maniac session from you?
Yes, the 9-7. For all we know, it's the same guy from the other week. He's playing similarly. No, he's not. He's not raising. This is a different bad player, but this is last week's guy continuing on. We're continuing the last week's session. And the poker tracker has lost our previous hands. It doesn't remember it's the same guy, but his VPIP is like 86 here is his actual number. And we've seen how he plays. All right. So Skate, you want to take a hand?
Sure.
All right.
All right. Sevens could definitely open here. Pretty big, huh? 5, okay. Ace jack and on the button. They do well, especially to the size, they're not going to do any 3-betting. So I think ace jack should fold to the size. And even to a regular size, what does ace jack do on the button? I think ace starts at ace queen. Maybe ace jack suited might start getting in there, but not ace jack off. All right. Let's fold. All right, they're in there. Mistake.
I've gone for the,
Sorry.
I've gone for the call. And I can't tell you if it was a VPIP decision. I think what it was is that this guy's opening range is to 5, I think. So this isn't his strong, it's not like this is, I think that what I noticed was that this guy, just his standard open was to 5
Okay.
and that he wasn't playing a tighter 5 range, so. And I'm gonna
Okay.
invite villain 8 into the pot here by doing it,
Uh,
which I don't want.
100% VPIP. Yeah, the same guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yep.
Okay. Yep. Call. Right. So, okay. Just to go naturally out of position, you check as a pre-flop caller. Gonna check. Well, there is an overcard, just one, right? You're dealing with two fairly widest ranges. I think we can get maybe one bet in here. And he does. And I think it's gonna work. Except for villain 8 is definitely gonna call since he called
Yeah.
5 pre-flop. Yep.
Right. And we're gonna fold.
All right, all right, I feel like it's gonna go check once the out of position caller called and it's 2 overs. There you go. Ooh. Okay, it's gonna go bet fold for sure. Should go bet fold.
I don't know if this guy's, I don't know this guy's gonna fold.
Mm.
At this SPR of less than 1, of what is this, 0.8, something like that?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, because I feel like because he checked the turn, yeah, he's so short. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's also 75 VPIP. I mean, no, I'm not sure, but
Yep. Oh, he checked,
oh, he checked. Oh, why did he
Yeah.
check? Why did he check with trips?
because he's trapping.
What's wrong with him?
He's
gonna-
checked. A lot of things are wrong with him.
He's gonna go check.
Yeah, this is an easy check from the 7s. No reason to turn these into a bluff. No reason to do that.
Unbelievable. Okay, it's gonna go. I mean, I don't. Is he gonna shove since he
I hope
checked? I feel like. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know what to say anymore.
Yep, he shoves.
Okay. So he was trapping well. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these people do that kind of stuff. But a lot of time, yeah, it's gonna go check. They miss value, and that's what they do, right? So you gotta think like that.
Yep.
Okay.
And there you go.
Wow.
Yep. Let the butchering begin. Continue. All right. This hand should go fold around to the jacks. What's gonna happen is 5-4 is gonna call. And jacks should of course raise him. He should fold. He's not going to. There's the call, there's the raise, there's the call. We go to a flop. And he's also broken. So this could easily go check bet. You know, he can bet his jacks once. It's probably a better play for it to go check, for him to check behind with his jacks. Give the guy a chance to bluff and not be afraid, especially with a jack of clubs. I think he can. But he goes for the big bet, over bet, and I believe in his mind, what he's thinking is, I want to find out where I am. And he gets an answer. That's what I think just happened. And you make more money not knowing where you are. All right, Larry.
All right, so villain 8 is going to open. Even though he shouldn't.
And he's
Queen
going to open.
Jack gets to
What?
defend with the flat.
How is he going to open?
And he's gonna go to, I don't know. He might
He's going to
limp.
limp. He's going to limp. We know that. Remember?
Evidently not.
Yes. This guy has a real VPIP of around 86-ish and a PFR of around 3.
Okay, so he doesn't have a raising range, he just has a limping range.
Yeah. Very little raising.
Okay, so queen jack. This is kind of an interesting spot. Do we know, does this, have we seen this guy limp fold?
No, he's gonna call. Remember, no, we saw him call a raise to 15 with 3-5 with 9-7 suited.
So with queen jack here, I would mix. Queen jack is just, I always think queen jack off as being a very dangerous hand because its reverse implieds are pretty significant.
Yeah.
So, so he's got two players here.
Mhm.
He's obviously not, I mean, he can't fold. So, okay. Oh, okay. This is getting interesting. All right. So, jack two off shouldn't put any money in. They should just fold, just get out of there. It's not worth it to play out of position with this combo.
Yep.
But he's going to take a different route.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to, he called. So now I think queen jack should bet, he should raise to 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
mean,
think if this guy is not folding any hands, I think it might be reasonable even to go bigger, like 8 or
Yeah.
10,
to get him to fold or to play a bigger pot.
to play a bigger pot against his weak range.
I think that's fine. Again, I have poker PTSD when it comes to queen jack. I just think it's a really dangerous hand, especially the offsuit variety. I just think it has very, very poor. I think it has very, very significant reverse implied odds that can get you in trouble.
Right.
Yeah, but
I
Larry, are
think
you saying you would raise less than, like if you had aces, or let's say queens, you would raise queens to a bigger size, whereas queen jack, you wouldn't raise to that same size?
Probably not. I'd probably go to about 6 or 7 with both. But I don't think you have to be balanced really when in the situation. Um, so, but I would try to be somewhat consistent and go like, I'd go 6 here.
so. I want to put in one counter argument to your thinking.
Yeah,
With
go ahead.
Queen jack offsuit is a dominated hand against the usual ranges you play when
Yeah.
you open it and then you get 3 bets. So you have to fold it. So you open queen jack in the cutoff 100% of the time, right? Then you
Sure.
get 3 bets somewhere and you need to fold
You need to
because you're
chuck it.
dominant.
Yeah.
Or someone raises and you've got queen jack offsuit in the cutoff or the button and you go, I'm often dominated. I need to fold.
Uh-huh.
Against this guy's range, queen jack is dominating, not dominated. And against
Okay,
this
that's
guy's range,
That's valid. That's
Right.
valid.
so we know villain eight's range. It's
Okay.
any 2. And queen jack dominates any 2.
Yeah, that's valid. So yeah, I'm just bitching about queen jack off, but I would still ISO it.
Yeah,
I
so we
would use
want
a bigger size. I would use 6. And
Yeah.
I would 6 or 7, and I would use a consistent size, I hope, for the great majority of my range.
Okay,
I might go big with ace king.
gotcha.
But I mean, in theory, we're not supposed to do that, right?
Right. And I think in this case we should. I think we should vary our bet size against this guy.
What do you think you should do? What size?
I think the queen jack, since we're going to get called, we want to put, we're going to give up a lot of hands. So I think this one wants to go to the 5.5 and 6 size. And when we've got the ace queen, I think we want to go to the 6.5, 7, 8. And I don't think we care about being balanced or playing face up
No, I don't think we are
Okay.
either. What about aces?
against this guy today. The 5.5 to 6, make sure we get called,
Okay, cool.
and look forward to being able to do the 3. So there he is. Great. Okay.
So, okay, so we call it. So now, you gotta rep it. You gotta rep that king. And so, you guys have heard me say this before. I would go to a B50 here just because that's what Jeremiah Williams does. This size is fine. He's gonna get called, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. Bad play once again rewarded. Ooh,
Okay, so we have an open ender. So we have turned equity. So, generally, I think at this point, theory is that we polarize, right? We're claiming we have at this point an uncapped range, which in theory should be chock full of good kings. Um, his calling range is going to be the draws that are available around the diamonds, around the straight. But I think we still want to polarize. Trying to fold out kind of actually his hand, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Uh,
So I would be 75 here.
Okay.
I actually am gonna disagree just a little bit because I feel like, I hear like the Jonathan Little in my head, when his videos mention, the bluffing one, and if they don't fold, don't bluff, and yeah, that's my thinking. So I think
Okay.
that we should maybe the exploit should be under bluffing versus this kind of player.
I think
And
that's
so,
fine. That's a
so,
good argument.
so
I
Skate,
I'm picking up what you're throwing down, Skate.
yeah. So Skate, with that, your strategy here would go to check call mode, given that you do have an open-ended and 2 overcards to the 8 and the 10.
Yeah, mostly, but I mean we don't know that like in the hand.
Yeah, we don't know
So
that he's gonna bet, but if he bets, so you would change here to, you would check this turn and call a lot of bets, right? You might not call, you wouldn't call it jam, but you'd call a lot of bets.
yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Now let me give a third approach to this hand, which is the way that I believe Mark Goons would play this hand. I think he bets the turn small so that he has a beefy enough bet on the river to bluff the guy off of hands like 8s.
Yeah. Goon
But
does
he
like to
bets,
make a small bet here, and then
but he
he's
bets to
going to
get the money in.
shove a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so we want to have at least a pot size bet left. So if we bet 10, the pot goes up to 42 and we've got 70. That's enough. If we bet B75, which is 15, the pot goes up to 51 and we've still got, yeah, we've got enough. Yeah, so we can make your big bet and still collect at the end. If I were going with the Mark Goons strategy here, remember, when I say Mark Goons, I mean my understanding of it. He could look at this situation and go, "What, you idiot? Why are you even in this hand?" I don't know what he would actually say. But the Mark Goons model in my head says that we want to bet this right around 10 or 12 to pick that up and really have an overbet on the river to guarantee the
Yeah,
full.
that's valid. That's valid.
Plus flush draws. Plus we get, plus the flush draw. So let's see what he does.
Honestly, I would go for pot size on the turn or overbet and
Okay.
and give up on a river, on most
Gotcha.
river.
Gotcha. So you're gonna say I'm gonna shoot my shot on the turn.
Because you have bet polarized on the flop already, right? And why would you then bet small on a
What was the
10?
size of yeah, okay.
That's semi-polar. So you're gonna go semi-polar, massive polar, and give up, unless you get there, of course. In that case, Tura, on your
I
getting,
think you're folding out most of the 8. I think probably you folding out the 8. And
Okay.
if he's calling, he probably has a king or a 10.
Yep.
Or maybe some kind of flush draw plus straight draw or something.
Yeah. So
Or
I see.
flush draw plus pair.
Yeah, I see the sense in that. And then obviously, if you hit your 9 or your ace, you blast the river, right? You got there. If you hit your queen or your jack, you check as marginally made and hope that it goes check, check, and you beat the 10s, right?
Or block bet.
Or block bet. Now, my question is this. If a diamond comes in, do you bluff diamonds on the river?
Not sure. Probably not without the diamond.
Okay. So the strategy that you've just outlined makes sense, but here's what it's missing. It's missing any river bluffs. So you bluff, so you're only gonna bet for value on the river. And that's not, that, I mean, maybe that's the right exploit, but it's certainly not GTO. So I think when you do this, I think you should consider bluffing, bluffing diamonds on the river. And given that you have no diamonds in your hand, I think maybe that your line is perfect with the queen jack with one diamond.
Yeah, but then I would blast it on the diamond river.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To play your line, I think you want to blast it when your straight comes in. I think you want to check and do a lot of calling when your jack or your queen comes in. But I think you need to have some bluffs in there, and I think the natural bluff here is the diamonds. So take your line when you have a diamond, and don't take your line when you don't. I think maybe that's the next level, given the strategy that you're moving into. Maybe. Does that, I don't know that it's right, but does that make sense?
Well, you can still bluff on the turn and give up on the river.
Yeah, you
with
can.
the-
What are you, right? I'm saying let's take your strategy. Let's bluff the turn, and let's bluff the turn big.
Yeah.
When you get to the river, what card are you going to bluff? I know what card you're going to bet for value, a 9 or an ace. And I know what cards you're going to check back as marginally made, a queen or a jack. What bluff rivers do you have in that range, in that strategy? You're going to bet, we're going to bet like 28 here. And assuming he calls, and we go to the river, what's your bluff? With queen jack with no diamond.
Yeah, well, I'm I might if river is blank, I might still blast it with queen jack.
Okay. Okay. So so when you said and give up on rivers, so you're not giving up on all rivers. On a blank river, you might, on a 3 of clubs, you might blast.
Yeah, could be.
Okay. Okay. Now you've got some.
But probably depending because I'm expecting villain to fold an 8 on the
Right.
turn, but I'm not expecting him to fold a king, and also I'm not expecting him to fold a king on the river.
Okay.
But with queen and a jack, we're blocking some of the good king X.
Right.
So that, but I don't know how relevant it is because it's his range is so wide and
Right. Okay.
yeah, no, but I still think polarized bets on the turn should be
Okay.
the correct one.
Good enough. Okay. This is Larry's hand, I think. Yes. Okay, Larry. So he does the small size there,
Okay, yeah, it gets fold.
just gets the fold. All right. There we go. Mike.
Alrighty, where's the big blind? All right, I see it. So we have the poster. Right, poster should raise. I've never posted that I know of, so I guess you just still make it just whatever your normal opening size would be.
Yep.
Nines, probably just flat here, maybe. Broken stack. Mm, Flat or 3-bet would probably be just fine. And then we'll see what happens.
Right. Let's see. Does the deuce 5 play along? No. Okay, he gets out of there. Yeah. So flat or
I'm
3
curious
bet.
about 50 big blinds with nines here. I don't know if you just, if you should 3-bet more often or if you should flat more.
I think you should 3-bet more often with pocket nines, the shorter your stack is. Because you're much more comfortable getting it all in with nines. As
Right.
long as forward is not ace, king, queen. At 50 big blinds than you are at 100. You don't need a set. If the board comes jack 8 deuce, you can continue to bet.
Okay, well, he goes like whatever. Is that even legal? I guess so, huh?
Yeah.
guess you can make it 3 is the minimum.
Mhm.
So, all right, well, that's unusual.
Yes.
So king, queen off, probably should just flat at this point.
Yeah. He doesn't care about being dominated for 1.5. I think that this bet is even worse than going to 3 big blinds. Because if you go to 3 big blinds, you could at least say the excuse that your cat stepped on the return key and it was a misclick. 3.5
right.
is on purpose. So this mistake is on purpose. And just for fun, just for everybody, what is the size he should be 3-betting to here?
Well, with his shorter stack, it's if we had full stacks, he would make it like 6, 6.5, whatever. But I think you can probably make it. I'd probably just stick with 6.
Yeah. 6, 6.5.
I'm thinking a solver may even come down to like 5, maybe. But I think 50 is still big enough. You just make it 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Jack 7.
villain 7
Jack 8.
should check.
Close. I was close.
And then the 9s, no spade, probably can still c bet. Probably has either c bet or check is probably about the same. If it were me and I saw the king queen posted, right?
King Queen posted.
Yeah, and then raised. Yeah, I would probably c bet. I would probably just go B33.
Okay.
I'd see bet small.
All right. Are you
Ish.
c-betting range in this situation?
Range? No, I'm not c betting range.
Okay. All right. So if you're not c-betting range and you segment these by the poker coaching buckets, this hand is clearly marginally made. It's not right. This is not it's not premium.
No, it's not premium, but it's still, I think it's still pretty decent where you are going to deny a lot of equity.
Mhm.
The hands that you don't mind folding, even when you're ahead.
Yeah. In this case, you do not, you could get a fold out of the hand, the exact hand you want to get a fold out of. This could be great.
Yeah.
I don't hate the check.
Yeah, me either. Like I said, I think they're probably about the same
Yeah.
EV1.
Yep. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to mute and you keep talking. I will click.
So it went check, check. King, queen now. Kind of an interesting card for his range. Yeah, I should just still check. I forgot that 9's 3-bet actually. So yeah, king, queen should still check.
Yeah.
And then 9's, now that he's gone check, check, I would, so he leads.
He leads, and his lead does fit in the model. He's got a draw.
Yeah, 9's, I would fold if I were 9's.
Yeah. Yep. There we go. Dura. I'm sorry.
Yo.
Skate, you're up.
All right. I think this should be folded around to the big blind.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, ace 4 on the button. Ace 4 can raise on the button.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Go down to ace 3 offsuit there. Mix ace 3, raise ace 4.
Yeah, what's wrong with me? Yeah, if it folds around, you're right. You could open.
Right.
Yeah, this hand.
Right, but there's no chance this guy is folding ace 5. He's limping it, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, limp. Fold. Ace 4, see VPIP. I think he's gonna fold.
Against this guy's range, ace 4 is easily an ISO against his range, but it's not fun to ISO. But it is mathematically correct from what he's shown. Ace 4 is well ahead of his range. And
Okay.
goes for it.
Okay, good point.
Easy fold.
Fold. King jack off. Fold to 4.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I think playing out of position against 2 players in a situation where, as Larry pointed out, this is a situation where he easily is dominated by this. It's not like the other one where queen jack was the nuts. But he sees if he's playing in any thinking, he knows this guy's playing any two, therefore he knows this guy can ISO wide against any two, and against a wide ISO, king jack is not so bad, but he is playing out of position. I think his better play here, if he's going to think that way, is to 3-bet.
Yeah, it makes sense. His VPIP is 50.
Yeah,
Pretty
but-
pretty high.
Yeah, but he goes for this. And then this guy, of course, doesn't fold.
All right. Check, check, and the decision will be on the button. That's yeah. Okay, not a good board. Multi-way for sure. Yeah, we have ace high. I think we're gonna check a lot here.
I think he has to give up. This
Yeah.
is such a bad board for his ISOing range and such a good board for their calling range.
Mhm.
Not for their actual hands, but
Okay, it gets even worse.
mhm.
Now we got a one-liner, right?
And this guy's got it.
Yep, he's got the bottom end. I think it's
Bottom, but yeah.
so since he has the bottom end and it is multi-way, I feel like it's gonna go check, check a lot here.
That seems like it should. He bet
One big. Okay, so let's bet one. Okay, that's gonna fold out the villain 11. Okay, there's no reason for him to call with good shot to even the worst straight.
It's not even a gut shot to a straight. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a gut shot to a chop.
Uh,
It's a gut shot to playing the board.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, whatever. He calls King Jack, nothing going on there. Muck.
No, there is. King Jack really should call here. King Jack is a gut shot to the nuts.
Oh yeah, yeah, for one big blind.
Right. For
And he
one
says-
big blind, he's got a gut shot to the nuts with a club blocker. If it comes a 10, he doesn't, he can be less afraid of of the flush out there. For
Yeah,
one-
you're right.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. Yeah, for one, he could call.
Yeah.
He already called 4, so.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's no straight on the board, so it's gonna go check, and then since nobody raised, right? I feel like villain 8's gonna bet again,
Mhm.
like really small.
Right. He's got to bet tiny to get called by some real garbage out there.
Mhm.
But he decides to let them off. Okay. So he's figured out with his one big blind bet, he figured out no one has a 9. So no one has a 9. He then bet an amount that no one was going to be able to call with 2 pair. Well, yeah, maybe they call 2 pair, but he bet an amount that gets the folds that he doesn't want. That seems bad.
Yes.
All right. Next hand is me. This should go fold. This ace 8 can raise if you're playing the 2.5 charts. I believe that in the poker coaching 3 chart that this is a fold. Let's just take a look real quick. Not because I haven't learned the poker coaching 3 chart. In the cutoff, fold there. Here's our cutoff to 3. And our cutoff range, ace 8 mixes. In the 2.5, ace 8 is a pure raise. Ace 7 mixes, and ace 5 is a lot. So let's see which range he's playing. He's playing an aggressive, he's playing this range aggressively. Good enough. We need to fold, you need to fold. King 7 suited not only is going to call, should call. And now should King 7 raise ever against the cutoff here? King 7 has some raising against the cutoff in the GTO wizard chart. Let's just see what it has in poker coaching. So cutoff raise, big blind, king 7 suited, never folds, and they've put the raise at king 6 suited. There we go. Which means if he raises king 7 suited, that's fine too. But he won't because he doesn't raise. So he's just going to call. And he plays a hand correctly and gets rewarded. This should go check. And he can check raise some of his kings here, but I think king 7 is probably low enough that he should just check call it. This is probably not good enough, and he's only worried about an ace falling, really. Well, he hates a 10 and a queen too, so he is vulnerable. But instead, he just bets out one big blind. Ace 8 for one big blind can call. You can call all kinds of backdoor equity against one big blind in position. And in Nuffle, you can call every bet, so he should just call. Good. And he does because he also called that ace 4 before. So he's calling with just his ace high against these one big blind bets. Okay. The queen comes, he picks up equity. I expect villain 8 to continue with another one big blind size bet. This is a 4-liner now. So he bets one big blind into it. He got what ace 8 got what he needed for one. He should call. His hand will be completely visible. But if the G10 comes, he also, there's a straight on the board. So the guy may call for a chop. So I think he should call. He does. There's the 5. I expect this guy to bet 1 or 2 big blinds again, assuming, that he believes he doesn't have a 10. 1, 2, or 3, something like that. I think 1. No, he goes all the way up to 5 on there. And villain 11 should fold. He should not call ace high there. All right. Larry.
Sure. So villain 11 gets to RFI here. Villain 8 is going to call horribly.
Right. This, of course, should be a fold, never a 3-bet, never get involved. That's terrible. Good.
So villain 12 is on a broken stack, but this hand is a 3 squeeze hand, so he should go to, I don't really know the adjustment. If you're playing a broken stack, I don't do that, but I would say 16 or 15, considering it's 3 big blinds.
Right. So the adjustment is once he's going to put in
Villain 12 should shove.
Right. Once he puts in 16 of his 41, just shove.
I think what's the threshold? So the threshold is, yeah,
33%.
threshold's 30%, right?
About a third.
Yeah. So
And
yeah,
yeah,
you just shove.
just shove.
You could just shove here.
Yeah, just happily shove. Ugh.
All right. So villain 11 has a nice implied odds hand. He doesn't really need to. I may be influenced by the cards here, but you're playing in position. You have implied odds because you got the flush draw. You've got the suited combo. I would call in position.
Easy call. Yeah.
I would have some, like, ace 5 suited would be a very interesting re-raise, but for this combo, ace king, I would definitely re-raise both the offsuit and the suited.
Yep.
Queens get interesting. I think probably queens I would raise. But anyway, this hand I think I would call.
Yeah. Save us from the pot sweetener. There is no such thing as a pot sweetener in GTO world. Now, in exploitative world, I don't think there's any such thing as a pot sweetener. I think
No, this is just ridiculous. It doesn't serve any purpose.
no. The closest thing to a pot sweetener bet we should be making, I think, is with pocket aces, heads up when we 4-bet it. And that's even the GTO sizing is pot sweetener size.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, really you want this, I mean, this guy wants his size to be, he should shove. He doesn't want to play multi-way, but he doesn't know that. So, okay. So ace jack should call. Villain 8 is an idiot, so he's gonna call.
Right. Now I'm going to ask a question here.
Sure.
which is forget everything we know about GTO and think
Alright,
as maximally exploitable as you can against our generic opponents. Do we think that pot sweetener bets have any place in our strategy against our actual generic opponents in a multi-way pot?
no, no, they do not.
Okay. Do we think that they have any utility against this guy's super wide calling range?
Heads up or multi-way?
Multi-way. That's what we're in. We're in a multi-way situation.
Yeah. I don't think they do. I think really one of the primary reasons that you're raising multi-way is trying to fold out equity and take the hand heads up.
Right.
So for this reason, these small bets are really without purpose or intention.
I
I
agree.
mean, really, when you make a raise, you really want to understand what you're intending to do. This one doesn't really have that.
Right.
I mean, one of the biggest mistakes I see is that people easily take hands multi-way. What you really want to do is try to get a heads up and invest up front in order to accomplish that. You want to deny equity.
Yeah. And knowing that this guy calls big raises when you've got a hand that's willing to raise big, maybe get villain 11 to fold, maybe not, but charge this guy some real money. That's my opinion. All right.
Yeah, I agree.
There, and then that, of course, that happens.
And of course, bad play is rewarded because this is poker. This is what we live for. So this is kind of an interesting spot. Again, I think I might be influenced by the hand. He flopped well. He's got a lot that can call. I think this hand is so far up in range. I would bet small here. I bet like 5 big. 5. This isn't necessary. This is like, so he might get a call from, well, he's probably gonna get a call from villain 11 here. Villain 11 is in a very awkward spot. So what would I do if I was villain 11 here? I would be in the blender, and I don't know what I'd do. Generally think I'd probably pay him because I wouldn't think that this. I would probably call and lose because I wouldn't think he'd be so far up in range making this play. And there's lots of draws available, so I'd probably lose 30, 37 big blinds if I was villain 11.
Me too. I'm ready to lose 37 here.
And so yeah, he's gonna lose 37 bigs. King 7 should go away. And that's exactly what happened.
What happened? Yep. I think I lose 37 bigs there too. Okay. Tura.
It should fold all around with the big blind, but villain 11 will probably limp.
Oh, good for
No.
him. Oh, look, he found a hand to fold. 3-8. All right. Tura, take the next one also.
Fold around to king 10. Limp.
Right. He should be raising, but you're saying he's going to limp, and you're right.
Yeah. Pocket fours should limp behind. At least that's what I would do.
Right. Would you consider ISOing this guy's incredibly wide range with your fours?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
that
that's all.
would be reasonable as well.
Yeah, I think both are a good play. Given
Uh,
that he never folds and pocket fours has a hard time continuing, I would also consider limping behind and just playing for a set against the field. Both seem good. Which he does.
A player in the small blind should ISO to around 6.5.
Yep.
And
He
big
should.
blind should 3-bet him.
Right.
But now he has to isolate.
Yeah.
To outgo to around 8 big blinds.
Yep. So the theory size, the poker coaching theory size for this ISO is 3, 4,
It's 7.
6. Poker coaching ISOs this to 6.
Isn't it 4x plus additional limpers?
No, it's 3. It's the pot plus one more unit, and So the pot is the pot is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you were going for a pot size bet, you would go to 5. But we're out of position, so we add an extra unit, so that brings us to 6. And then there's absolutely no reason not to push it up one more to, to 7. You're allowed to go bigger. So
Yeah, I would
six-
go at least 7.
yeah, so 6 to 7 is poker coaching size. That's great. And I think against this guy, knowing that he calls big bets and we're at top of range, screw it, go to 10.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Because you don't care if he folds, he's folding out equity. And if he calls, he's calling way too wide. Ugh.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake.
Yep, I agree.
Now everybody calls.
King 10 should fold here, but 4-4 and ace 9 should call to this size. If he turned up his hand, 4-4 should call, and ace 9 should consider calling. Even dominated. Because, oh, this is terrible.
Oh. Yeah, force should definitely call.
Oh, they should so call.
Multi-way.
The only argument for the fours to fold is he says, I'm not closing the action, and what if ace 9 comes in now and 4 bets?
Yeah, but that's
there.
very
But that's not
unlikely.
gonna happen. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's never happening. All right.
Queen 7 deuce. Ace 9 should check. Ace jack. Uh, I would probably bet small.
What size is small here?
25% or
Okay.
yeah, I think that's fine. Multi-way.
Okay. Yep. And would you consider checking also? Would you be
Yeah,
in
yeah,
check
I would.
small bets? All right.
I would, but it's so dry boards and the ranges are so wide that I think betting is reasonable.
Yep. I think both are okay. I think a big bet would be not a good idea.
Yeah,
So that's my least favorite. That's my least favorite of the 3 options here.
I think it's bad as well. You're folding out worse and you're only getting called by better hands.
Right. Now, how sticky is this guy post flop? We know, he's way too sticky pre-flop. Post flop, what does he do with this? He's not super sticky post flop. Because he's got a backdoor straight and an overcard. And that's not enough for him. I don't say it should be. I'm just seeing how he is. Okay. Here we go. All right, Mike.
Yep. Well, this should be easy enough to get around a 10 jack to raise and ace 6 to defend. But let's see what happens before it gets there.
Right. And how would ace 6 defend against a standard? Let's make 10 jack 3.
That's got like a lot of 3 betting ace 6 off.
Yeah. Exactly. 50%. 50% in GTO wizard world and in poker coaching world. Small blind raises. Let's see what we do. Okay, you fold. Small blind raises to 4, not 3 in that world.
Really?
And ace 6 does this. This is against a 4.
Peak GTO goes to 4.
Yeah, peak GTO goes to 4. The wizard doesn't. The wizard goes to 3.
Right. Yeah, the 4 is unusual.
Yeah. And I said we weren't going to do this, but we're going to do it. We're just going to look at the difference. Here we go. I apologize for showing a MTT sim on a Monday. Okay, we'll just look at the 6. We'll look at the 6 max version of it. Here we go. Small blind raises to 3. And this is the wizard against 3. A lot of 3 betting from the ace 6. But that's not what's going to happen because the king 3 is limping.
Okay, then it should. So what's interesting is if we're in the small blind here, gosh, I mean, almost never complete, but because of villain 8, it almost seems tempting, and it seems like 10 jack might be the kind of hand we could probably do that with. I don't know if we want to squeeze with 10 jack, but I would probably just fold.
I would call this 100%.
Yeah, we
Except
probably should be.
everyone else.
I
I
just
would never
don't.
fold it. That's what I really meant. I would never fold this to this guy's range. But I don't know that I would, I don't know that I want to ISO 10 jack out of position. Yeah, so
Yeah, it's probably right. I really wish we had like a good source of what we're supposed to do in the small blind versus limpers, because it's one thing that I struggle with. On what
yeah,
we're,
we do have,
should
no,
do.
we have some data on that. We're not going to look at it now, but we have that data from,
Yeah, I know the charts and everything that you've compiled with like what they do limp with, but it really doesn't give us any info on what's profitable
mhm,
from our end.
yeah. Okay, those are the 3.5s.
But I'm with you. I think like I said, my initial thought was we
Okay.
probably should complete here.
No, we did get it. We made a chart that was based on their actual limping ranges. We then ran them through HRC with those limping ranges and got an answer. We do have that. Maybe
Okay.
we'll review that at the end of this, or if not, we'll review that tomorrow because I got to find it. But we have something that. But this is a different case because he's not limping the range that we did that from. That was against that was against population's actual limping ranges in my database. This guy is limping way wider, and against this, 10 jack is 10 jack is at least a call and maybe a raise.
Yeah, probably right.
Yeah, so he goes for the raise, and I have no problem with that at all. That seems great. It's too
Yeah,
small. The raise size is too
Ace-6
small.
should fold now.
Yeah, I think so. Yep, and he calls, of course, because he's super sticky pre-flop.
All right, and we get to here. I would probably just I would see bet small, pretty
Mhm.
close to range.
Yep,
He goes big.
he wants a clearer answer.
The big size is not necessary.
Yeah, yep.
Are you waiting for me to tell you that he's going to call?
Yeah, he's going to call, and he should call. He should.
Well,
He
of
should beat,
course.
but he should call.
Now that he's polarized like that and got a call, I mean, your 10 jack, you've got nothing going for it. So just give up.
Give up. Yep, just give up. I like the check behind from villain 8. I like his play on the turn.
Sure.
I actually like his play on the flop too. Okay, here
Now
we
that
go.
he's checked behind, though, I would probably stab as villain 11. I would take a shot at it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're kind of blocking some decent. You have cards that are decent blockers to the king and the queen, but I would probably take a shot at it now and lose
What size?
like 60, be 60.
Okay. All right. He just goes for the full on lose. And now you're villain 8.
If I'm villain 8,
Yeah.
probably, yeah, I'd probably go like B75.
Okay. I agree we should be betting here. We should be betting and try to get called by a queen. And I think this is the one case where I might go under the solver's 50% rule. I might bet 7 here instead of 10. He bets 10. I think that's great. I cannot believe how much we're complimenting the way villain 8 played this hand.
Well,
But okay, up next is me. There we go. All right, what should happen is this should fold around to 11, who should raise. King 7 suited in the small blind should fold. Ace deuce suited should defend by folding. Now, what will happen? Villain 8 will limp. King 7 should ISO that limp, and then everyone else should fold. There's the call. There's the ISO, again, too small. And I should fold my king seven. I should not look at this and say, this guy's range is dog shit. This guy's range, he knows his dog shit. Therefore, I can come in and clean up the dog shit. I think I should be cleaning up the dog shit a little wider than just my 3-bet range against the button. But king 7 suited is too far away from that. King 10 suited, easy. I should be 3-betting that. And king 9 suited, I should be thinking about it. But king 7 is a fold. That's what I believe the adjustment is. Ace deuce should absolutely fold here, but he's going to call. And jack 8 should absolutely fold here, but he's going to call. And finally, no, bad play is still rewarded, but at least it's not his bad play. All right. This should go check, check, check. But he takes a shot with, that's not bad. I'm sorry. He's got a gut shot. He's got 2 overs to the jack. I mean, 1 over to the jack, and he's got a backdoor flush. Sure, bet small, see what happens. Ace deuce should not be folding yet. Jack 8 to this action should fold. He's not going to. There we go. The 4, this should go check, check. And now king 7, I think, should give up and take his equity. If he picked up a club, he could continue. Of course, if he picked up the queen, he should continue. If he hits his king, he shouldn't. He should check behind. So he should only be betting on a club is his bluff and a queen is his value. And this hand should check behind and try to realize its equity. But he decides, I have a draw. We bet draws. He polarizes. And this might get through. This might get through. Yep, it does. I think the ace deuce fold is probably good, and the jack 8 should definitely fold. Especially if the ace deuce calls, then the jack 8 has to fold. But I think he should fold here to that size. All right. Larry. Oh, by the way, well played, villain 11.
Can you guys hear
Larry.
me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
This is gonna, this should fold around. Well, we've got a poster or limper, I guess a poster.
Poster.
So it should fold around to 7-4.
Yeah, should.
Nothing really needs to get involved here.
Let's see, does this guy, but this guy might do his ISO here, deciding that, and I don't hate his ISO, you know why? Villain 9 has an extra bad range. He has a range even worse than a big blinds range right now.
Yeah, agreed. He's posting.
Yeah, he posted, and he doesn't contain any of the aces, kings, queens, and ace king that a big blind can have because he hasn't had to act yet.
Yeah, he's in bottom 60%.
Yeah, he's bad. Ace 4 makes it in there. Ace 4 doesn't love this, but he knows
Yeah.
he's getting incredibly wide calls from here. He's got the nuts against this guy.
I might get fancy with ace 4 in the button, but here I think I just let it go.
Yeah, on the button, I think it's required. I mean, because it's a button raise anyway. It's a button raise against a normal big
Yeah.
blind range. So yeah. So anyway, I think he's going to go.
Not a good overlimp though. I'm not playing this as an overlimp.
No,
Overlimp, I think, is an error.
Yeah, I agree.
So what's he do here?
I think he's going to ISO, but I don't think he's going to ISO big enough. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and he's making it smaller with an extra player in. He's doing because his ISO against this guy is normally, his ISO has been to 4, and now he's ISOing smaller.
Yeah, I think you want to go bigger. I think you want to make sure you have the button.
Yeah. There we go.
So villain 8's in, of course.
Yeah.
So who knows? Let's not worry about what villain 9 should do because it doesn't matter. None of us are gonna do this.
Yeah, you're right. We would not be posting. So let's move on.
No one would do this with a
Okay.
broken stack as well.
Nobody here is doing it. Okay.
So I think there's a chance that villain 9 is going to dunk here. I think there's a good chance.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see if he does it.
He does
There's
it.
the dunk. So ace 4 is in quite an awkward position. So Nuffle's out the window because this is multi-way, broken stack.
Yeah.
We don't really have much going on here. And he just chose a big sizing.
Yeah.
I might be influenced by the cards, but I think I can let this go. I've got a backdoor wheel, but that's it. I got a backdoor wheel and an over.
Just fold.
Yeah, just fold.
You don't need to see his, I mean, just fold to his bluffs.
Just fold to this size. Yeah, just
Yeah,
fold.
just fold to this size. You're not closing the action, just fold. Yeah, all right, do it up.
I think it should fold around to the button.
Mm-hmm. Right, this is
Now,
too wide. This is too wide, but only by a pip. I mean, king 10 can open here, so.
yeah, but I think king 9 is way worse.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's bad. Technically,
now,
straight.
now villain 7 can actually just flat.
Yeah.
Because there's weak players behind him.
Yeah, he doesn't mind inviting villain 8 in. But he goes for this. And that's
That's
okay.
fine as
That's-
well.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah.
Works. Yep. Good. All right, Mike.
Yes, sir.
So this is one thing on this king 9. So king 10 can open here. So king 9 isn't terrible. And king 9 can open here in the cutoff. So this expansion isn't, I mean, it's not good, but it's not terrible. It's just overly aggressive. And then he got his answer. It's an easy fold. All right, Mike.
All right, should be another easy one. Big blind gets a walk.
Big blind should get a walk. Yes. Okay. But he's not going to, is he?
Yep, here comes the limp.
There's the limp. All right.
Yeah,
And
Jack
what is the
3
next?
should not flat, should not complete. Just check 9-3 off.
Right. So knowing that this guy has a range of any two cards here, literally any two cards, let's call it that on the button. We don't know that he's unfolding Jack 7, but let's simplify. I mean, 7 deuce offsuit. But let's simplify it and say his range is any two cards. If his range is truly any two cards, what do you want to do with Jack 3 offsuit in the small blind?
Still gonna fold it.
I agree. I agree. Against any two cards, I think the correct play, not GTO play, exploitative everything play, GTO exploitative everything, is fold this. What is knowing that these guys play wrong, this guy's playing way too wide, and this guy, which we don't know this, but he's completing way too wide. What is the maximally exploitative what's the maximum exploitative play with 9-3 offsuit in the big blind here? Knowing that.
Are you asking me the question?
I'm asking you the question.
What is the question? I
So,
don't understand.
So you have godlike knowledge of their ranges, not of their hands. Knowing this guy is limping any two. Knowing this guy is completing way too wide. What is the maximally exploitative strategy with 9-3 offsuit here?
If you're referring to the speech you often give, is you exploit by just checking your option.
Damn
By
right.
picking a flop with 9-3.
Exactly. That's exactly what my point is.
Yeah.
That he is now playing maximally exploitably by checking. See? All right.
All right. So, I mean, let's see here. Probably just check is what maybe should happen. I'm trying to figure out if we should like maybe lead with our middle pair, like if you were 9-3, just based on how wide the other two ranges are, but probably just check and
This seems better. And now if a blank comes and it goes check, you can now bet your 9-3 if you want, I think.
yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yep. And that's not a blank. Oh, that is not a blank.
Yeah, your Jack 3, just check. 9-3 definitely. Well, okay, so he bets his bottom pair here.
Mhm.
You now have a two pair that after it checks through is probably almost considered nuttish.
This is the nuts.
I don't know if we should raise or if we should just flat, but there's still pretty dry. There's still some potential. Yeah, just probably a small raise.
I like a raise here.
It's probably fine. It's probably about what is that? About a pot size raise?
Mm. Let's see. Um,
So it was 4. Your call makes it
bigger
5.
than pot size,
You
5,
raised to
but
yeah, just a touch
Yeah.
over pot.
yeah, touch over pot. But in absolute size, it's still not that big. All right. We think villain 8 with his stickiness folds here. We have not seen him be sticky post flop. He calls 1 on the flop with a pair, with like second pair, and that's fine. So I expect him to fold, and there you go. All right. Here we go. And that's how you maximally exploit with 9-3. Although I think this was unnecessarily large. But maybe he trusted the guy had a 10 and thought he would call a 10 for that size. So there you go. All right. Me. Fold, 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 raise, fold. But fold, fold, call, fold, complete, see the flop. Oh, come on now. King deuce against this guy's range. This is an easy call. And sometimes a 3 and sometimes a squeeze. Squeeze? No, sometimes an ISO. There we go. But that's what he does. Check, bet, fold. All right. He doesn't choose to check that. Now, check. I think if you're going to check the 7 once, you should check the 7 twice. But I don't think he's going to. I think he's gonna bet 1. No, he checks it again. All right. Great. And now check. And now you've run out of giving the guy rope. Bet 1 big blind. Bet 1 big blind. All right. He didn't. Larry.
All right, so villain 8 has a hand. Crazy stuff is gonna go down. It should fold to villain 8. It should open. Who knows? I would open 2.5. We never know. We never know.
We
with
don't
villain
know
8.
what he does with top of range. We haven't seen him with top of range.
Yeah, just don't. Can't imagine it.
He raises it.
It should actually fold around. It's just take it.
Damn
But
right.
villain 10 might get involved. No,
No.
he's gonna take it.
Everybody should realize that when this guy raises, he has a good hand.
86 euro.
Yeah. All right. There we go. All right. Take this one also, Larry.
Sure. Villain 8 has a hand. He should raise it and it should fold around. He chooses to limp for some unknown reason, which we can only maybe he thinks this is a drawing hand. I don't know. But I don't really see any hands. I think Hero can't really do anything here out of position in small blind. I think it just folds around to big blind.
Yeah, I think even knowing that his range is any 2 cards, that the 10-3 needs to fold here. I think I need 10-6 at a minimum.
Yeah, this just isn't enough.
And now I fold even more because of
So we're
that.
getting crazy over limps.
Yeah.
This is insanity, ladies and gentlemen. The poker
Okay.
drama we've been waiting for.
All
All right,
right.
so you decided to get involved.
This is a mistake.
I think this hand is. I think you can make an argument if you have guaranteed position on button, but I think here it's just an error.
I think this is an error.
So, but I say
my
that with
only-
great respect for the person making the error, of course.
I think this is an error, and my only defense is that it's a half a big blind error.
Yeah,
That's my only defense, but it's
which is valid.
Yeah.
So we're going 4 ways to a flop.
Yep.
Let's see Hero's poor play rewarded one
Okay.
time.
one time. I believe this king 7 is not a good squeeze here.
No, I
Anyway,
wouldn't
so
squeeze it.
I think he gets
Squeeze
to
the
see the
flop.
flop. Yeah.
One
Yes.
time.
Justice.
I mean, so there's a lot of there's a lot of strategic arguments around dunking here,
Hmm.
but I just can't get behind them. Maybe I'm a little stubborn about it, but uh, I would I would just still check. I want information. This massively multi-way. I'm gonna have a lot of check raises, but I think I'm going to check. I like
Okay.
check raising here. I like check raising because this hand has a lot of equity, which is one of the, I think, arguably one of the best reasons to come to this group, is that a lot of us are in these four-way hands. They're not solvable. We don't see them as solvers, but we can see now what our equity is with a hand on a dry texture, right?
Yep.
And we've got two pair. We can understand the value of our hand a little bit. So, okay, hero should check. Hero should not dunk, in my opinion.
Okay. Let me just change one word here. I'm not
No,
gonna.
I think it's a dunk. I disagree. My semantics are right and yours are wrong, sir.
Okay. Good enough. Right. But the reason, and the reason that I'm being pedantic about this is because I'm an unpleasant person to be around, but also because our heuristics that are tied to to the word donk don't apply to limp pots. So
Well, I kind of disagree on the philosophy that he did put money in. He did volunteer. There is a VPIP occurred,
yep,
right?
yep.
If there's a VPIP, then he did voluntarily put money in pot. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Right. Okay. So anyway, that's fine. And now I'm going to give a little speech, which is if you are going to check any two pair here, the best two pair to check here is the 10-3.
Okay. Yeah.
And the reason is that the 10-9 is the best two pair is, coolers all other two pairs is great. The 9-3 unblocks the 10 and therefore you can get called. And the 10-3, while it's the best hand, it's vulnerable to the 9 pairing. But when the 9 pairs, you already got called by that 10 anyway. You didn't protect yourself from the 9 pairing. So this is the one hand that if you want to check any two pair, or you want to just call any two pair, top bottom is the first one you do before top two or before bottom two. There's the speech. And I listen to Larry because I don't want to donk out. I don't want to donk out.
So we're hoping to get a bet. We're probably not going to get it though, which
We're
kind of
hoping to get
sucks.
a bet.
But
Yeah, we're hoping to get a bet.
we don't get a bet,
And then we get the worst card possible.
and we get the worst card possible.
Yep.
But we still have top pair.
Yep.
But so I think we can bet here. No, I mean you're right. I mean it just sucks to get counterfeited like this, but
Yeah.
no one bet this card reduces 39x and maybe late position bets it. I would go like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
That's
great.
fine. Okay.
Mhm. Great.
Yeah. All right. So 5. I think this is quite fine. I think this is blankish.
Mhm.
I think a check call or a blocker sizing is good.
Yep.
I don't
I
know.
have
We
no,
can't really go. Who knows what value thresholds here?
yeah,
But I would check call or value or blocker size. I think here.
yep. And I have no argument about which one's better. I think you're absolutely right. It's like, do one of those two things.
Yeah.
Which one do you feel like doing against this guy? I think I feel like doing the blocker size against this guy because I think it's less likely that he's going to bluff into me because of the way we've seen him play.
Did we bet the flop? Sorry, I missed the
No.
action.
No, the flop checked around and then we bet the turn 75%. And I think that the way this guy has played, that he has fewer bluffs in his range. And when we check, we're checking to induce a bluff. That's why we're checking. Because we're checking to
Yeah.
call. And since I
I-
don't think he's gonna bluff, I think I should be betting
I
big
think
blinds.
block bet is the best.
Yeah, let's block bet. Oh, but I do that and I understand why, but I don't think it's the best play. And I don't think it's the best play also seeing his hand. I mean, without seeing his hand, I don't think I was influenced by the hand, but I think that's the right.
Yeah, it's hard not to be. But I will argue that this is, I think, at low stakes, Bart Hansen feels very strongly that we should go for thin value.
Yeah.
Because his thought is that I think part of his argument is that people are going to play more face up and the top of range is not going to be protected. So because the top of range is not protected, we should go for thin value.
Because they don't bluff they don't bluff to the checks as much.
And they don't bluff to the checks as much.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, in a pseudo G in some GTO kinds of things, someone who ends up who starts with as wide a range as this guy ends up on rivers way too wide and therefore has to bluff too much.
Yeah,
And
but
But
also
not
this-
this guy.
yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't seem to want to be, he's not interested in bluffing.
That's not his strategy. And
He's
Yeah, 'cause
playing
not aggressive.
bingo.
and we should know that by now.
Yeah.
Playing against him. We should recognize that other people who play too wide end up having to overbluff rivers. This guy just isn't choosing to do so. All right, Arturo, you're up.
I think nine's open. And queen's 3-bet.
Right. Here we have a guy taking a lesson from villain 8.
Okay, nine's ISO to 4.5.
Good. 4.5 is better than 4. Good.
Queens would 3-bet to like 15 or so. 16.
Yep. Yeah, 16. I wouldn't mind going 16, 17, 18. I wouldn't mind going to 8 all the way to 18 with him. But it's all the same.
For oh,
Stop
this
it
is
with these pot sweetener bets.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
With queens.
I mean, his reason is because he doesn't want the guy to fold. I want to,
Yeah, but
I'm so
you'd
far. It's a bad reason, but that's his reason.
you want to fold an ace or king.
Yeah.
Right.
Or make them pay, or make them overpay. You make
And
them-
also a 4-5 can cooler him now.
Yeah.
I
Because this
mean,
guy's not
everyone.
folding. This guy's not folding his 4-5 suited. Oh, he did. I was
Oh.
wrong. I'm so wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, nine's call.
Right. And so if the nines had just an ace here, he's almost giving him the right odds to call with just an ace. They're not right. No, is he? 19%? No, he's not. No, he is. He is. He's like, you need 19% and an ace, and just an ace here has 25 to 30%. And and the ace is in position. This is bad. Okay. I mean, even look at this. He's giving the right odds to an underpair.
How did you get that number?
I'm
20.
looking. Okay, so his price he's laying is 19%. That's this number here.
Yeah.
And here's the 19% that nines actually have to hit a set
Yeah, but
by the river.
why does an ace have 25 to 30%?
Oh, I just happen to know that a singleton ace is 25 to 30% over, ace 4 is 25 to 30% against every hand except for pocket aces. Let me show you this in Poker Cruncher. Because this has come up so many times in our study that I just know it. So, let's give ourselves an offsuit ace, ace 5, and let's go against queen, without the suits, and we get 30% right there. Right. Now let's have the queen block us. Let's have the queen block the 5. So we'll go queen of clubs instead. And it goes from 30% down to 30%. We lose 0.2% on the suit blocking. Go against ace king, ace 5 against ace king. Let's do ace king of diamonds. Whoops, not that. Clear the board. So just to have a few of these and just to know a few of these. I mean, look at that. 27% against ace king. Yeah, same thing against pocket kings. The only hand you're bad against is the pocket aces, which you block. And let's make it worse. Instead of ace five, let's make this ace eight offsuit. So you don't even have the straight there. And eliminating your straight, you've still got 25%. So you've lost 4% because of your lack of a straight, but you've still got 25%. So that's just that quick heuristic, which is any ace is 25 to 30% against any hand except pocket aces. And you block the pocket aces. So that's it. And he has now priced in ace seven offsuit. He even priced in that, the hand. I mean, he didn't price in jack nine. There we go. And he is only mildly punished. So it's your hand.
Now I think I would check queens.
Mm-hmm. That seems fine.
And I would probably fold nines.
Easy fold. If you were ever going to call pocket nines here, you have to have the nine of diamonds.
Yeah.
And I think you can fold even the nines with the nine of diamonds here. But if you were ever, but if you want to do this, the nine of diamonds is so important here. And the reason is, it's not your backdoor flush value that you have, but you do have. It's that when you bink a set, he never binks a flush at the same time as your set. And that's critically important.
Great.
Okay. And that's not just GTO world. That's the real world. I believe.
Yeah.
There's his fold. Good. And this is a guy playing, I think, for comfort. Give me my answer now, whether you have a king, and fold out everything that I'm dominating. So this bet succeeds in getting called by the hands that he doesn't want to get called by, and all the hands he wants to get called by fold to this bet. So it is a way to secure the pot. It is a way to play easier and more comfortably. It is not the way to maximize the money, which should be our goal. All right, Mike.
Let's go. All right. King five raise and take it. So let's raise and get flatted by king three probably.
Right. But no, this is way too tight.
That's pretty strange that he would fold here. Almost seems like he timed out or something.
Could have. This is way too tight, and it's way too tight against this guy's range.
So now he's gonna limp, and the jack four gets to see a flop.
That's right.
All right. I mean,
Maximally exploited by the jack four.
so probably just check, and you could probably just check here as well. You don't have to bet the jack four at this point.
No, you could bet one big blind, but you don't need to.
Yeah, of course you can. I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay. So keep going. I mean, we're in a spot that I'm not really gonna spend too much mental gymnastics on because of the.
But you're going to be the jack four because you are going to play it this way.
Oh yeah, that's true. I would be.
Yeah. So I want you to play as jack four now.
So yeah, based on if we know if this was our first hand and didn't know anything about villain, then I would say checking I think would be better. But now we can just bet here.
Yep.
And you notice that we get called by much worse.
Yeah.
King three should check. Jack four at this point, I would, if it were me, I would check. I wouldn't continue trying to get value.
Okay. He bets one, and with everything we know about this guy, we're going to play. We don't know his cards, but we're going to play godlike with his range because we really do have in the game, we had a good picture of his range at this point.
Yeah, I still wouldn't try to get value. What are you trying to get value from? any other jack. Maybe is he going to be is he limping pocket fives and fours and stuff? It's just not that many hands, I don't think.
Right.
So I would just
Okay.
check and try to get value on the river.
Sure, I like that. And now here's my one counter argument about it, which is the reason we check behind to get value on river here is to minimize our exposure when he has a better jack and an ace, but it's also to induce bluffs. And we've decided that this guy doesn't bluff. So if this guy doesn't bluff, is our adjustment to bet this turn? That's a real question to Mike.
Oh, I didn't know that was a question.
That's a question. Yeah.
What was the question?
Okay, so the check behind is the standard play. And the reasons we check behind here are to minimize our losses against an ace and to induce a bluff on the river and do a hero call sometimes with second pair sometimes, right? If I tell you that this guy has way too wide a range pre-flop and sticks around for one bet on the flop too much and doesn't bluff rivers, and that's the important thing. He doesn't bluff rivers. So the reason for checking behind to induce a bluff goes away. Does that change whether you want to bet this turn? I don't know the answer. I'm asking you.
I don't think it does. I think we still just, we can still determine river profit from betting the river. I don't think you're going to get 3 streets here is what I'm saying.
Right.
You're not going to get 2 streets in a row here.
Right. Okay. There we go.
I might be misunderstanding, but I still wouldn't bet it.
Okay. And now the river.
And so what did we do? We bet
We bet one big
we
blind.
bet one, right?
Yeah, we bet one.
And he called.
Yep.
Well, I guess any jack he has is going to still beat us now.
Mm-hmm.
Will he call with anything worse? And I would have said no, so I probably would have checked behind. And villain 9 got more value than I would have.
Yeah. And we saw that situation on my hand where I checked the river. I'm going to jump back to that one here. This one. This hand here, my river check, that made so much sense, but thinking it through, there's probably, thinking it through that he doesn't bluff, so I don't induce any bluffs. The block bet there that I didn't do, this guy did. And more power to him.
Now, if we had checked the turn, I would have bet the river.
Yeah.
But he went bet. They were small, tiny bets.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could probably work that into your strategy. It was, there's probably a ton of different nodes you can go down. Over 1 million hands. Does this make sense? I mean, he's going to have random jacks that are going to beat you.
Yeah.
Like a lot of all the offsuit, and I mean that's 100 hands.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know. Yeah, over the long run, is it better to try to get these 2 small streets of value? But I mean, he just happened to have a 3 that he could call with, but.
So I think what happens is, this is what I think happens in this hand. If we play it your way, I think it goes like this. I think on the flop, you can't, that sometimes you bet one on the flop here. I think you do this sometimes. You get called. On the turn, it goes check, check. On the river, it goes check, and you bet 3. And he calls the 3, and I think you get your value that way.
True.
Yeah, because when it goes check, check, and you bet this river, you bet half pot, right?
Yeah, I'd probably bet 4. I'd probably go more than 3.
Right. And given that you went check, check, he might call you with a 3 there. So he calls the 3 because there's only one big blind. And in your version, he calls because it's only one bet and you checked the turn. So you might be firing your way out of it. So maybe both are just fine. All right. Me. Queen 9 fold, 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 fold. I think 3-7. I think he's folding 3-7 here. I don't know that he's folding 3-7 on the button. I don't know if he is. He's not. All right. 4-6 fold. King 6 against his range. Go ahead and raise this. Go ahead and raise this just for pure value. You have the nuts. Now with a 4-6 in there. I don't know that we have had enough hands on this guy in this position to have concluded how bad his completing range is. But I think King 6 here, probably better check there. But against this guy alone, raise the King 6. Against 2 players, sometimes raise the King 6 as a sure. He doesn't. I don't hate it. All right. This needs to go check. And here, I think he can consider what Larry calls a donk and what I call a bet because there was no pre-flop raiser. And the 3-7 is going to call at least one time and the 4-6 needs to fold. And he does that. He bets small. The 3-7 is going to call. And I don't even think it's a terrible, I don't think the 3-7 is a terrible call here. But I think it's terrible that he's here to call. There's his call. The 4-6 gets out of the way. The ace, the King 6 should now check. He does. Opening this up for a bluff, and this guy doesn't bluff. That's not what he does. And let the bad play be rewarded. The king should check. And I see why he bet. Because after check, check, he goes, the ace isn't there, therefore my king is, so let me get value from a jack. I see why he did it. I think it's not great because if the guy's got clubs, he just folds. If he has you get value from a jack, you lose to an ace, you lose to a 7, and everything else folds. So I think this is not a great bet.
What? But he's never bluffing, so you're getting folds or check back from clubs anyway.
Yeah.
And you get called by a jack, and the 7 should raise. So
Yeah,
then
the
you
7
have
and
an
the
easy
ace.
fold.
Yeah, the 7 and the ace raise you.
Yeah.
Any other king you split with, because the only king you don't split with is king queen and king ace. I mean, because king 10 splits with you. So that's what makes it not bad.
Check fold is
Yeah.
the best option.
Yeah, but he bets he's going to get raised, and will he find the fold? He does, because this guy doesn't. This guy is not there to bluff. I don't mean he never bluffs. I just mean that's not what his strategy is. And I don't remember ever seeing him bluff, by the way. I don't remember it. All right. Larry.
All right. I think queen 10 off is too early. Should fold around to king queen off. But we'll see. Villain 8 is going to limp.
Right.
And villain 9 is going to have a required ISO.
Mhm.
Obligatory ISO incoming, gentlemen.
No! No!
Horrible play. Punished. Banned.
Stop the madness. All right.
Banned from all sites in the United States and abroad.
Right. But this makes villain 10's decision interesting.
So king 9, yeah, it's like I kind of feel like king 9 here is a ISO to 6 or 7 or fold.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't think you really want to do anything else here.
Yeah. I don't know what, do I call this ever? I don't know what I do here. I just fret here.
Yeah, this is kind of because we're in the, we can't study for this.
Yeah.
So I think I 3-bet or fold. I ISO or fold. So this
Good.
is fine.
Good for him.
5-3 gets like the gift of a free straight draw flop.
Exactly. Yep.
That's an interesting flop. So in theory, you get a lot of check raises here because you're unblocking all the value. I would never donk here. I'd really like to multi-way. I wouldn't donk. It's really tempting, but it doesn't make, I'm sorry, it's not a donk. I would not bet here.
You would
I
not
would,
lead for one. You would not lead for one.
I know, I would check and see what happens.
That happens.
Okay, that happens. Now we're sad. Now we don't, now we don't like we don't like our turn card. Arguably one of the worst turn cards in the deck. However,
The worst. The absolute worst turn card in the deck.
yeah. What about one big blind, one or two big blinds? Let's see what happens. That's fine. You're feeling bitter at the world right now. Check. I think you call this size. You just call. No, he's so bitter. He's like, fuck this hand.
Yeah.
I hate this hand. I hate this game. Why did I ever choose to play this game? He just folds. All right. Party's on.
Well, at least that 9, if you did call with your 3, the 9 doesn't bother you.
Yeah, true.
The 9 only bothers you if you have an 8.
Yeah, true. Okay, so yeah, queen 4 is like whatevs, check. Villain 9's like, I'm gonna polarize you off your cap dumb range. So I'm gonna go to 10 big blinds. Just do it, man. Just do it.
Okay, the non-union equivalent of 10.
This isn't gonna work, I don't think, against this guy. I think he's got some station-y quality. No, he folds. He could fold, can he?
He's folded. He's super stationy pre-flop. We've seen him call single bets with a single pair,
Yeah.
and seen him fold a lot to the continued aggression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
So, yeah, so he gets the fold.
Points. Points for king queen.
Well, that's for king queen.
All right. And notice now, I'm going to repeat something here. The poker tracker has given us 27 hands on this guy. You know, that's gotten this stat.
Mhm.
Out of 27 hands, look at how his stats go right into how he plays.
Yeah, it's true.
If these stats were like mine, okay, my stats are 15-7 on 27 hands. All right. You know that I'm not a 15-7. This is not me.
No, you are not.
Right.
You're a perfect 10 to me, dude.
Yeah, but what I mean, when you are within a standard deviation of the sort of average, when you're in there, this is not enough hands to start distinguishing things. But if I was a V of 0 here, 27 hands, a V of 0 tells you this guy is tight as fuck or away from his seat. A V of 85 is even more than a V of 0. It's actually harder to get to 85 in 27 hands than it is to get to 0, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, this guy's, he's playing bingo.
Right.
I mean, so let's talk about adjustments though. So I think out of position, I just think maybe have you already started going to 3 when you RFI?
Yep. The one hand we saw me RFI was at 3. In the whole time we've been here, I only remember RFIing once.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah. The adjustments are RFI a little bigger. Exploit by getting walks in your exploit by seeing flops with your big blind that you have no right to see.
Yeah.
This is in my position. In these positions, it's ISO the fuck out of him.
Yeah, you don't have ideal position.
I
Did
never
you see
get to.
what Mike just put in chat?
Yeah. No, let me see what Mike put in chat.
Mike, was this one of your sessions?
Yeah, that was from a while back, but yes, 42 hands in. That was my HUD stats.
Right. Yeah. That's sure. You see somebody with that at a table where people are betting and 3-betting, it makes complete, you don't know how tight they are. You just know they're not crazy. But you have to earn a V of 85, and you can do it. And we saw this.
You do have to earn it.
Yeah.
You have to earn it by losing your hard-earned money over time.
Yeah. The 212 here.
I'm gonna step away, guys. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Next hand is Tura.
Queen ten can probably open sometimes.
Mm-hmm,
King queen should 3-bet
mm-hmm.
and then fold.
Right. Oh, wait a minute. We may be done. We just saw we just saw this hand, I think, didn't we? This is the
Yeah.
heel limp.
Yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah.
this hand. Okay, so are we done? Ace four.
Ace
No,
four
we're not
open.
done. I just hit the wrong button. Here we are. Okay, here's your hand.
Ace four should open. And king queen can either 3-bet or fold.
I like it. But what's gonna happen?
Jack two will probably flat,
Damn right.
and king queen will flat as well.
And what should king queen do here?
ISO or 3-bet.
Squeeze. What should
yeah,
his squeeze size be too?
Probably 12. 12, I think. He should probably jam.
Yeah, just gets up to the jam thing. He should go 9, 12, 13 and a half. 13 and a half, he's got 38. Just jam. Yep, but he does that. And his jam
And-
probably was gonna work, by the way. You fold ace deuce, ace four suited to the jam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if the jack twos comes along, which he probably won't, who cares? All right, so he does that. Now, 7-10 suited.
Fold, fold, fold.
I like it. Good. Okay.
Ace four should check. It should check around.
Yep.
Ace four has an easy call.
Yep.
And jack deuce should get away.
Hmm.
Check. Check. I would check call with ace four. And okay. I don't think this is a good play.
Nope. Yeah, he's turning
Um,
basically he's turning an ace into a bluff here.
Yeah, I mean he's going like very thin for value, but king queen might call him down.
Yeah. Okay. If it's you, let's see. Well, you're not going to be here because you will have 3-bet there. So yeah, we don't know. He folds it. Sure. I mean, he kind of got his answer with this 7.549 here.
Yeah, I mean
He went for he got his answer by betting polar on the flop. The only thing he's got to be afraid of is one of the things that he got called with that polar bet were clubs, and clubs
yeah,
and clubs were
exactly.
decided to bluff there. But okay, Mike.
All right. Well, let's see if he limps first, and then we'll decide. Okay, so okay, well, villain nine's a short stack, so I would, if it were me and somehow I had a short stack here, I would fold, but I would consider ISOing with ace eight off. That would be extremely loose, but he'll probably limp behind here.
All right. So if you had the ace eight off in the cutoff, would you ISO?
In the cutoff,
Yeah.
I would be more likely. Again, I'm considering it in the hijack, so I would certainly be considering it more in the cutoff.
I would ISO it 100% in the cutoff, and in the hijack, I would think about it. And the smaller my stack, the more I want to think about doing the ace eight. So I think that combination of the fact that I've only got 30 big blinds, I think I want to ISO the ace eight here.
He's gonna limp.
Yep, he is.
Now, if I was ace nine on the button and I got knowing these players, again, it's right there, boy. I mean, ace 10, I'm ISOing all the time. Ace nine would be a fold to like most of, people who just kind of open limp, but this is like clearly an outlier, villain 8.
Right.
So I would probably ISO ace 9 off here and I would make it 5.5.
I'm 100% with you. I like that because remember this guy. We've now seen we have enough hands on him. We have a strong opinion of villain 8. We have a strong model in our head, and it's pretty accurate. In game, I remember what I thought about villain 8. This game is only 10 days or 2 weeks old or something like that. But we're starting to get a picture of villain 9 also with this V of 64 and no raises. So ISO.
Very good.
Good.
And it should go fold, 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 but let's see what happens.
Right. Well, we know 6-9's not folding. And we like this ISO. We want it a little bigger, but so what? Oh my gosh, he folded. All right, great.
I has an ace.
Right. And ace 9 is very unhappy now when he saw that. He wanted to be called by villain 8, not by villain 9. But let's go.
All right. Well, it should go check and let's see if it does check. Okay. So if I'm ace 9 here and seeing these stack sizes, I would probably, I think I would check behind here.
Yay. I agree. And if he bets small, I don't hate it.
Yeah. No,
Yay.
yeah,
Man's a genius.
okay. Ace 8. Let's see what the fish does first before we decide.
Right. And I'm not going to make you say, what would you do with ace 8 in this situation? Because you wouldn't have ace 8 here. So I'm not going to.
No, I would not.
But we don't hate that.
Okay. Fantastic. I would
It's
call.
a thing. Yeah. Ace 9. This is trivial. This is easy. Would you just jam here? I wouldn't.
I would not jam, no, because I mean he still has potential to have better hands here, like better aces even.
Well, no, but here's the thing. We don't care
No,
if
I want him to continue betting his worst hands.
Right, exactly. We don't, if he has a better ace, he's going to win another 14 big blinds. We are not folding ace 9 here. The only card we would consider folding the ace 9 on, and we're still not folding it, is to a 10 on the river. That's the only card that I would consider folding the ace 9 to. But if we raise here, he gets away from some hands. So I don't see any good reason to raise here.
No, yeah, not raising.
I like it. And now the game's over.
Yeah, it'll go bet call.
Yeah, that's easy. Okay, great.
And if it went check, it would be check bet call.
Check, bet, call. Yep. That gets easy. All right. There's Mike. It's back on me. And this friend's gone, but not this friend. This friend's still here. So this should go fold, raise, fold, fold. 10-6 suited should not fold to the cutoff. We should play the 10-6 suited. And we should play it by about half raising, half calling. There's the raise, but to 3 big blinds, I don't know. That was to 2.5. So let's just do a quick check of what poker coaching does here. We know he's calling. This is for us. So back to the world of the new peak GTO. We got raised to 3 in the cutoff, and our big blind 10-6 suited just out of range. And to make sure that I didn't not know my own study. Cutoff raises. Oh, wait, whoops, wrong sizes. Excuse me. Cutoff raises. Here's our big blind response, the 10-6 suited. Whoops. I pictured the range wrong. I'm an idiot. I was picturing this. All right, so let's fold. Go back to Poker Tracker. And he should fold, but of course he's calling. That's easy. This should go check, bet, fold. This ace can bet here, and he should bet small. Should he check behind ever with ace five here? Yeah, he
Yeah.
can check behind with ace five if he wants on this board.
Solver will check that hand.
Yeah, that's a fine hand to check. When he bets, can he bet big here? He can bet big on this board, ace, king, seven against this. Can he bet range on this board? Yes. I think this is a range bet.
It's not going to be a range bet.
No,
No,
only
there will be a lot of overbet.
Okay. So this hand does not benefit from an overbet. This hand's overbet folds. When this hand gets called as in its overbet, it's terrible. So let's not overbet. The medium-sized bet, fold, sure. All right, Larry, you back?
Yes.
Okay, take a hand.
All right. So ace jack gets to open.
Mhm.
Our hero, our arch nemesis, our source of income is going to do flat.
Damn right.
Jack three, I don't know. Who knows? Let's see what he does.
He should fold. He's going to call. This is this is an easy fold. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he calls.
Okay, so this is gonna be interesting. So it should check to the initial razor.
Mm-hmm.
The initial razor does have a range advantage. I mean, this is multi-way. There is some wetness to this dynamic nature of this board. Generally, I think in position here, I'm going to bet. However, I'm nervous because this kind of hits their flatting range. Which is like lots of tens in their flatting range, lots of jacks. Yeah, I'm gonna bet though. I'm gonna bet. So
size?
I'd bet small.
Which is
3.
good. I like it. He goes big.
Okay, so this, I don't think this is necessary. I could be influenced by the cards, but I mean, I'm gonna bet in position here against 2 ranges, but, yeah, we have all kinds of stuff going on in this texture.
This was the ace king seven hand. Thank you, Mike. So yeah, so it's so the betting size is mostly over, and the ace five that we had does a lot of checking and then mixes all the sizes. So good.
Yeah.
All right, back to this hand.
So, yeah, so fine. Queen fours, he's gonna call. He's
Yeah.
playing bingo. Jack three, I mean, it's got what? It's got gutter and a backdoor flush draw, multi-way to this big sizing. I think we fold. He's
Just
not
fold.
gonna be able to hold on anyway because he doesn't have the implied odds.
Yeah, just fold.
So he just needs to fold. Yeah, he has implied odd issues that he's probably not thinking about.
Right. And when he hits his, it's a four liner, and it's a four liner to the not the nuts, so he doesn't make money from it. It's yeah,
Yeah,
just
that's a
fold.
good point. That's a good point.
I mean, as it turns out, it even matters.
It does. Yeah, he's gonna be in trouble. He's gonna be dominated.
Yeah. And not that everyone always has an ace jack, but there's just no money in it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a fold. All right.
So, so check. So this is where I think the most interesting street is so far.
Yep.
Obviously a lot of the calling range involves kings. And you've got 2 callers. So
Yeah.
I made a big bet. I've got 2 callers. I'm now gonna check back and wish for the gin card.
Yep.
The
I also
10
think
of
yeah.
whatever, spades. I'm not going to bet it. I'm not gonna bluff into 2 people when both have called.
Yep. And when it's now easier for a queen to call on the turn.
But I'm curious if anybody else, yeah, good point. Does anybody else continue aggression here? Because it's hard for me to do it.
I don't. I check. I check and realize my equity.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Let's take my 17% equity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I would check back here.
Yeah. And notice that the jack three has so little equity in this hand that they don't even list it.
You're right. We've not seen that before. It's quite
Yeah, we've never
interesting.
seen that before. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
It's because they have zero.
Yeah, because there's zero.
Yeah.
So this is one of our this is interesting. Paired board, 3 to a straight, no flush available. We have ace, but we're blocking the straight. Again, I might be influenced by the cards, but I've been checked to after I check turn, right? We had a check turn. I've been double checked to. This is the thin value that Bart Hansen likes to talk about. I would thin value here, and I'd thin value, and I'd go 12. I'll go 12 bigs.
Yeah.
$12.
$12. It's not, yeah. When you get called by an ace deuce, you split. That's depressing.
Yeah.
So you're betting to get called by a queen, right?
Yes.
Maybe-
Or maybe jacks. Or
You
maybe,
go
well,
back.
jacks probably 3-bet.
Nobody has pocket jacks in this hand. This went limp. Look at the opening. I mean, look at the beginning of the hand. Oh no, you raised. Nobody has pocket jacks in this hand except for you. But anyway,
I think villain A could have pocket jacks.
yeah.
I think villain A, I don't think is capable of 3-betting.
Okay, good enough. Phil and I can have pocket jacks. So I think that this is a case where you need to, if you're going to bet here, I think you need to bet even smaller than 12 because you are.
Yeah, that's an
queen,
argument.
pocket
There's an
jacks.
argument for that. I don't think on this table you have to worry about check raise bluffs that much.
Nope, you do not.
Well, what's up? I think this is an exercise we can do. We're getting towards the end of the session.
Yeah.
Let's specify value region because this is not an easy flop to extract thin value from, right? This flop has got some complexity to it. There's straights available. There's 10 jack. There's trip kings. But I think you still need to extract value because it checked her out on turn, and no one's betting on river.
Yeah.
But again, it's very hard for anybody to call on this texture unless they're just playing bingo.
Bet 6.
Yeah, I think your argument around less than B50 is fine here.
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying. It's hard to get called by anything on this texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think B50 is fine. I think I'm gonna stick with B50. But what
Yeah.
size do you think is I'm open to your alternative bet sizing.
6 big blinds.
All right. That is thin value, dudes.
Yeah.
YouTube, if you really respect and admire Scotty's thin value 6 big blind bet recommendation here, please like and subscribe and comment. Because I know I do. I'm going to go out and like and subscribe and comment just out of respect of the alpha.
Thank you, Skate. I appreciate that. Skate just put 7 to 10. I am right in the face of Matt Affleck. I'm gonna go right up to him.
I
and
know.
6 big blinds right in his face, and he's gonna look at me and he's gonna say, "What the hell are you talking about?"
By the way, did anybody see Phil
What is-
Goffon's? You guys probably don't obsessively go to poker YouTube, but we all know. Just to take an aside here in the middle of the hand, my apologies.
Yeah.
We all know the tragedy of Affleck's greatest hand, or most infamous hand, right?
No,
So
put in the link.
Yeah,
Matt
it's
Affleck's
aces versus jacks.
yeah, Matt Affleck's most infamous hand is when he is sitting 13th in WSOP main event. And I think Duhamel has got like 30% equity. Yeah, about 25% equity on turn. Affleck shoves his aces against his jacks on turn. Duhamel gets there, knocking out the chip leader or one of the bigger stacks, which was Affleck, right? This
Yeah.
happened 12 years ago, and it's quite, I think, a little bit of tragedy there. And this is Affleck's most infamous moment in poker. And Phil Calfon dragged it up and made a video of it, which he put out a couple days ago.
Okay.
So anyway,
I think we can find that just by searching, Galfond Affleck Duhamel. Okay,
Yeah,
that'll
yeah.
be it. All right. Okay, so here we are, and this is, I don't even remember whose hand it is. I think this is Taurus. Larry, did you do this one? Is this the one you just did?
Yeah, what
Yes.
happened at the end? Because I was talking so much, I missed
Bet,
it. Did he check back?
he bet, sort of a B60, 66-ish kind of thing, 16. He bet
Did the queen
66.
see the writing on the wall here?
Yeah, just folds.
No heroes. Okay, thanks.
All right, okay. And we are on to Tura.
Queen Jack. Actually, pocket deuces should open.
Mhm.
Queen Jack is going to limp behind.
Right.
I would probably ISO.
I like the ISO. He limps.
Jack 3 should fold.
Yep, but he's
and
going to call. That's how you get to a V of 69.
Ace 9, I would ISO.
All right. Yep, I would too.
And now I think it should go check, check, check.
Yep. Yep,
Okay.
it should. But once this guy bets,
Ace 9. I would call, but I'm not loving it.
I'd fold here because you've got two more players to go. And you have no
Okay.
redraws.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough,
Yeah, it's tough.
but I would,
But when he leads, he probably has something, and it's probably better than a 9.
I'd
Yeah.
fold some jacks
Oh, yeah.
there.
yeah, bad
Uh-huh.
jacks that you, yeah, Jack 4
Queen Jack should call.
at least, but he's gonna just call. Yeah, there we go. Because he has the redraw.
Jack 3, I would check.
Yep, I
Queen,
like it.
Queen Jack, I would call always.
Easy, easy.
And Jack should check.
Okay, so he's
Easy call.
kind of turning to bluff. Yeah, this should be this should be an easy call. Oh,
What?
you're not
No
sticky.
way,
We lose all our respect for your stickiness.
bro.
Yep.
What are you doing, bro?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah. Oh,
And
interesting. Have we seen a hand where he gets a premium yet? I don't think so. I haven't.
no, this is going to be
So
very.
King Queen should open. Ace Queen is going to flat.
Mhm.
Oh,
And my open is 5. This is
interesting.
this is my exploit.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I do.
And I'm not afraid. When I see that 5, I go, great.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we get here, I mean, he just has so many hands that he can't defend with that I would just see bet. I would probably see bet between B33.
Yeah. And I did this because I thought I had tons of showdown value.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think checking is terrible. I just, as an exploit, I would just see bet my entire range there.
Yep.
So it went check, check.
Mhm.
And now that you've gone check, check, I think you should continue your check line.
I think you should bet.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Call.
if you check for because you have showdown, and then the 5 comes, are you now you're bluffing?
Yes, I'm bluffing now. I mean, what is possible is that I checked with the intent of that I was checking range and I was considering check raise with 2 overs and a backdoor straight. Maybe I'm considering that. I don't know. Here, I just go, let me deny some equity.
Oh, okay. Well, when you said that you check because you have showdown, then that's different.
Yeah, I know. I said, I don't know what I don't know what I'm thinking here.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bet and the call. Interesting because you could potentially, but I doubt that you do. I doubt that you have showdown now. Like you can't really get to
Yeah.
this point with the lines you've taken.
Yeah,
You think you have a very much showdown. It's possible. I suppose you know, well, now you're losing to 9-10. You're losing to, I'm trying to think of hands you could have showdown against.
some
King
bad
9,
spades,
King 10,
some garbage spades.
Queen 9, Queen spade and spades.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Now that you've bet the turn, however, I think you need to continue. And yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd go B. I'd go, ooh, do we need to go big though? Um, you may not need to go big. However, if you had something like, well, I probably would have opened like a small suited connector like this. So I'd go B75, B60.
Yeah. So I like it. I believe that I remember this hand, and I believe that I check behind here and hate myself because I've been playing all day. You've seen how long we've been playing against not just villain 8, but how bad villain 9 is playing with him, and even villain 10. Although I didn't have a. We only know villain 10 is bad because we've actually seen his hands. But without seeing his hands, I've done all this. I've been here, and and I was up 4 big blinds. It was like nothing,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
I
you,
think I
I
just
mean,
butchered this hand.
you do have, I mean, there's going to be some showdowns. I mean, he can have hands as bad as like 7-9, like shoot 6-7. He can have hands down there.
Yeah, you can
So, I
have
mean, you
9
can
aces of
win
spades.
by checking. You
I
can.
can.
I just think
But
when he
when I
calls the turn bet that it eliminates a lot of it, but
Oh, he's bluffing, man.
bluffs, he bluffs.
With ace high, he's bluffing.
He finally does it.
Uh,
He finally bluffs. Imagine my disgust. All right.
The worst.
well, I bet
It's
at the
probably
time, I
the
bet you
worst
were
part
happy.
to bluff.
I bet you were happy you didn't bet.
Yeah. Yeah. I was unhappy that I was in poker. Okay, and is that this hand looks familiar. So let me just see. Did we just get to the end? That's it. That's the end. I don't know.
GG villain 8.
Oh, yeah, I think I had to leave. Yeah, I think this is when I had to leave. Yeah. But he had all this money, and this was November. Oh, let me stop sharing just for a second. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't put my calendar up here, but yeah. And then it was time to go and go and set up and for the show or something. I don't remember what it was. I had to do something. So I had to leave the pot. So that's it. That is
Session.
that was that sequence. And I was down against another set of terrible play out there. And most of my play throughout that sequence was automatic. Most of the things were completely uninteresting for for me there. But
Yeah.
still, we get something we get something of a sense of just what these kinds of numbers look like, just how bad they have to be.
Yeah, that's important too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we get a lot out of these sessions. I mean, the one thing the ones that I have recently enjoyed the most are the ones where we're doing filters. We're
Okay.
implementing filters into the hand histories
Okay.
and focusing on one particular play. Like the check raise filter is good. Maybe we could think of some other filters. Like we could think
There's
about filters where we are facing a bet above B50 on river, something like that.
yeah,
So like,
there is a
but like
specific filter.
donks.
Yeah, there was a specific filter that was requested. Let's see what this was and let's see if we can create that for the next time. All right. So let's look at, here we go, comments on our videos. Look at all the nice people commenting on our videos. We like commenting.
Really?
I like comments.
No way.
Yeah, yeah. This is this is here's a lovely, here's the comment. Here's a lovely
What's
comment.
up, everybody?
This is mental masturbation because you don't know who you're playing against. Yeah. This was about when you guys did all the ace king in the big blind just over and over again. So
Yeah.
yeah, we like the commenters. Okay, so I guess let's see. Oh, I think we can get to our thing by in YouTube. We want to see our videos. Oh, here we go. Okay. This is going to be us. This is me. This is my history videos. I want my videos in YouTube Studio. How do we do that? How do we get to, maybe it's this. My account. YouTube Studio. That's it. Okay. Here we go. Content. This should be ours. There we go. All right. Somewhere back here under comments, somebody requested a particular thing. I think I'm going to look at this without you guys.
Fine.
Yeah. We're going to go this far back. Look at all the comments we're not getting. Come on, people.
Can you sort by views? What's your most viewed?
Oh, we had one that was, yeah, we had,
Didn't you have one that went to the thousands?
yeah, it was, I think what happened was that YouTube, like once YouTube figured out that we were doing poker content, it pushed this one out to all the, to people who watch poker. And then a bunch of people watched like the first 5 minutes of it and then gave up. I expect, here's the analytics on the one. This is our one most often. Let's see.
I would imagine this happens with most though.
Yeah. So
they watch like 5 minutes and they're done.
yeah, and well, I mean, good on you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the reason that this went viral is a funny word, but I think the reason was that YouTube said, "Oh, here's a new poker creator. Let's push it out to all the poker people and see if it goes." And they go, "Who is what? No, 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 oh no, but one person. We could meet that person and hang out with them."
Yeah, dude, he's our poker geek brethren.
Yes, keep moments for the audience retention. Viewers are still watching at 30 seconds. Okay.
All right, tomorrow
We'll go over, what do you want to go over tomorrow?
marked hands, and then so how about defending after do you guys want defending after we face a triple barrel in the big blind, or
Like really tough. Okay.
I don't think you guys enjoy it too much when it's just one street. I'll figure it out. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I do know that I like most when we go through complete hand, that we have the most places to screw up.
Yeah, I think that's best. Yeah, I think having opportunities to be a fool on YouTube is really where I think our sweet spot is.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Scotty. Thank you for the session.
Super fun. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 9:15.
Okay, cheers.
Bye.
Yep.
Oh, Skate, say it. Skate, don't leave us.
No, I'm gone. By the way, guys, thanks for the study session, and may the poker gods be with you all.